Good evening, everybody. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels Bay, founder of the Circle of Grace One. I am the chief principal teacher of it, established on July the 6th, January the 15th, 2026, because I decided that I needed a little more time in order to put this podcast together. Plus, I wanted to incorporate a guided meditation into it that will also help everyone that will watch it at some point. It is pre-recorded, so I've done over 234 podcasts since 2021 when I had it under a different name called Wisdom Keys, and then back in I believe it was 2023, I had to change the name, and it's now called Clear Blue Radiance. And many of you may be familiar with me. I've been the meditation teacher for Resident Essentials Esoteric School of Metaphysics for some time now. I think since about maybe 2019, when I started teaching there. And I'm usually there every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. every Saturday, unless otherwise noted. Well, one of the things I wanted to do today, I thought about this topic a little bit because with all the things that are going on in the world, and I have a couple of friends as well as students, and I count myself in there as well. Sometimes we start to worry about what we see happening outside of ourselves. And we often get pulled away from our center where we are thriving, where we are receiving support on some level in our life through loved ones or friends and other associates. But sometimes the things we see in the news are getting kind of out of hand, but at the same time, they act as triggers to push us further into what we call the light, where we begin to function at a higher level and not at a lower level. So I wanted to share a brief topic today. And topic is based on life experiences that we all are having at the same time. It's entitled Every Thought, Word, or Action is Preceded by Silence. So let's take that in for a moment. This might make sense to many of you watching this pre-recorded session right now. We might often think that we are only interacting with others, such as family members, life partners, business associates, co-workers, friends, and neighbors. And at the same time, with all of this thinking that we're doing, we find ourselves rationalizing our thoughts. We're trying to give our thoughts a reason for existing up here, as well as in our lives. And often we are relying or depending on another person's approval without realizing it. Now, this happens often in partnerships where one partner has an idea and has to run it past the team, the other partner, and then other associates, especially when it's business or family matters. Because you are a part of a team, you're not really functioning by yourself. When you're functioning by yourself, your thoughts only matter to you. Your feelings only matter to you. But when you're dealing with other people, you have to take everyone else's position into your mind. You have to give it some thought and you need to discuss it, right? So many times, though, what happens is we lack trust in ourselves. We might spend time thinking about our thoughts, trying to make them relevant to ourselves and then relevant for others, or at least weighing things out back and forth. But during that whole process where we are thinking that we need approval all the time, we find ourselves lacking self-confidence, courage, faith, understanding. We find ourselves lacking attitude, humility. Sometimes we're falling into a state of depression or aggressiveness. Maybe we clash heads with other people. Sometimes we can get lost in our own ego as well. Now, it is all right for us to seek like-minded people who are thinking along the same lines as yourself, who can be supportive. Now, we all can use support. We all can use support where someone is like your cheerleader, right? There are many couples that go through this, where one might be going after a college degree or going back to college to get their master's or get a PhD and need the other part of the partnership to be supportive of that. Maybe that man or woman has children so that the husband may have to, do his job, but be supportive to the wife, helping out with the children. And even as the children get older, helping each other out so mom can secure that degree. Often people get lost in the shuffle because it depends on if other people are aware of the importance of that person attaining that degree. Who knows? They may not have people in their corner who are supportive as they thought that they should be. So sometimes we run into this, and there's certain illusions that we run into. We often don't notice that our thoughts are healthy. We often start slipping because one part of the partnership is getting impulsive, not focused on family matters, not focused on being supportive to the other's dream. And some people get caught up in that too. There are a lot of people, like in the quote unquote music industry, rap community. People were saying, oh, okay, I'm married to a guy that when I met him, he was trying to be a rap artist. Now we're in this marriage 20 years and they haven't gone anywhere with their rap career. And now they're older trying to be this entertainer that nobody's paying attention to. And even though family members are there to give support, it's not quite enough. Or the person loses hope. And often we don't have healthy decision makers, healthy support agents, and a lot of things that a person might be doing is based off of other people's opinions, how other people see them. How many of you have gone through that in your life where you were striving to be on point, take your life in a new path, not only for you, but for loved ones, and you never felt supported? Or you had people around you giving you their opinion based on their lack of experience or their failures. Now, many people have grown up in families where they try a different career or a different occupation. And then someone tells them, well, look, nobody in our family has never been a professional BMX bike rider, an Olympic star, or a airplane pilot, or a millionaire or a billionaire. Why would you do that? What's the proof? Many people have gone through those things. And it's a bit much. If you're on the receiving end, trying to fulfill your dream without a support team. So often you fall prey to the illusions in the world. the naysayers and the doubters. And you fall prey to false information, which is designed to lead you away from your own uninfluenced thoughts. Now, you probably, and I experience it often on myself. Sometimes you don't want to get caught up watching too much TV, too many movies, unless they have a message to it. And then you got the news media that's feeding you nonsense. Have you ever watched the news media, major news stations? Have you noticed that they seem to be talking about the same things almost at the same time? Have you noticed that when you watch movies, sitcoms, other types of TV shows, they all seem to take the same break almost at the same time for a commercial? You even notice that? Each one is vying for your attention. That's what's happening. Each news station is vying for your attention. And they all have their way of presenting the news to you. You're not there in the city where there's a snowstorm, a flood, or any kind of other thing going on. You're home watching it on the news, listening on the radio, on your computer, desktop, laptop, iPad, phone, because you're not physically there to witness. So you have to go by what's being reported. Well, here's where meditation comes in. Because this topic, every thought, word, or action is preceded by silence. This is where meditation comes in. Meditation reminds you to realize is that we learn that our best thoughts, our best timed words, our greater actions, our better actions come by being clear. Clear and non-affected, non-influenced by external forces, but growing out of an internal essence called silence. Now, as we emerge from a state of being silent and being able to hold ourselves in the deep awareness of silence, we can become aware and remember our truth. A true strength is birthed through maintaining silence. That means don't let yourself get affected by a TV, your laptop, notebook, desktop, or cell phone. Don't let yourself have all your unique time moments to yourself to be wasted by external factors. In the caverns of silence is where we can uncover the beauty and the harmony that we possess, the self-love that we have, unconditional love, and the feel of the surrounding pools of light as the presence of compassion, infinite presence of peace, and the spirit of divine grace. And many of you hear me talk about divine grace and not just grace. We all can give grace to each other. But divine grace means a greater essence that you belong to can bless you with grace that comes out of nowhere. We all are given grace, not for an excuse, but to better ourselves. So without the pleasure and desire to bathe ourselves in the intimate sea of silence, we share always. Now, we share these infinite degrees, but here's the kicker. We have to overcome the oppression that comes by way of too many illusions, external thoughts, feelings, doubts, and fears that are created to rob us of sovereign peace. Now, what do I mean by sovereign peace? That means you govern yourself. You create your peace for yourself. But you want to create a peace for yourself that doesn't harm living beings, other creatures. Your sovereign form of peace blesses yourself, your loved ones, your co-workers, your neighbors, strangers within your vicinity. So your sovereignty connected to peace and compassion and humility and to understanding, to unconditional love, self-respect, gratitude, and the spirit of divine grace, that in itself is born out of your silence. See, we can go within. When we can make that trip and go inside ourselves, we are allowing ourselves to change the outlook, to change the scenarios, to change the dream world, to change what we see outside of ourselves by changing what we're seeing, what we're speaking about, what we're describing, what we're living, what we're feeling. That's going on the inside. And when we can establish this form of sovereign peace for ourselves, it becomes a true foundation under the aegis of divine grace. What is aegis? Aegis. That is a word that means, a Latin term that means divine wings, meaning it falls under the protection that's bestowed upon you, provided to you by infinite grace. That's why I call it divine grace. So, what I want to share with you is an original, brief, guided, creative pathwork meditation. And I want to share this with you right now. This is in essence, a guided journey. And I call it, long title, The Spirit of Divine Grace is the basis of my silence. The Spirit of Divine Grace is the basis of my silence. So what I want you to do is find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. I want you to sit and establish the rhythm of deep breathing from the center of your being, which is your heart center, your heart chakra. So start doing that right now. Sit up as straight as you can. Try not to slouch. Try not to tip your head right or to the left, back, or let your chin drop. But I just want you to start breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, moving at your own pace. When you inhale through the nose and release the breath through the mouth, you're releasing static energy trapped in the nasal passage and in the throat and in your mouth. You're just letting it go. And as you let go of stagnated thoughts and feelings. So every time you are inhaling, you're gathering up the old thoughts and feelings that no longer serve you. You already know what those are. And as you exhale, you're allowing them to be dispersed, to disintegrate and dissolve and float like feathers into the ground. And the ground has its own energy that changes it to something better for the highest good of all. So think of these old thoughts coming to you, old strayed ideas, cracked and fractured feelings and the memories that go with them. And every time you exhale, they're being dispersed in the energy field around you, which carries harmony and peace. It peels the debris outer core from the inner core, and the earth accepts it. The earth is not overwhelmed by your thoughts or how you express yourself. Now, as you do this, I want you to imagine that right in front of you is a fireplace that has logs and twigs. And these logs and twigs and the fruitfulness of the energy that you give off and the energy of the earth and the atmosphere provides an energy that appears to you as a golden flame. So take a moment, creating in your mind or from the library in your subconscious mind a fireplace. It can be elaborate or just simple, but you can see real logs and twigs in this fireplace. And the energy perks up. The flames bounce up. The embers increase, and they turn into a golden flame. And as you look at the golden flame, consuming the logs and twigs, around the edge of the flame, you're seeing gold flecks and then flecks of violet. Now, the fire is not raging in the fireplace, but it is increasing, and its warmth is embracing you. In fact, you bring forth all of your memories about smell. You feel like this sandalwood in that wood. You feel like lavender and rose is in that wood. The more you look at the flame, the more relaxed you become. And you begin to feel the great awakening of silence that begins to grow deep from within you. So this golden flame is emanating from your heart center. And this radiance that it gives off is the violet flecks of light. Now all remembrances of old ways of thinking and feeling soon roll away from you. Inside, you can feel the presence of the fireplace, the warmth from the golden flame, the ease and comfort from the flecks of the violet light. And these old thoughts and feelings and doubts and the memory of hearing or receiving negative thoughts and feelings are no longer attached to you. You fall deeper now into the silence. You feel a sense of the mother essence, the divine mother essence. You feel the divine father essence. You feel the sacred child essence. But you know, it's emanating from the furnace, from the fireplace within you. Your heart center is embracing and releasing, without a doubt, your own truth, your own light. And now, as you go deeper into the fireplace. You are mesmerized by the light of yourself. You begin to feel the wellness of grace itself. You begin to see the beautiful rains of unconditional love and the remembrance of your true self. You feel this light cloaking you with internal strength. And you begin to find this in the presence of silence, where divine grace is abundantly a part of you at all moments. Everything might appear to be attainable externally, but the true treat is when you remember to go within. And as you go within, many more images arise. Vast seas and the hearing of rolling waves from a river. The sea of compassion can be heard deep on the inside, flowing with the infinite power. And the winged birds, representing the aegis of divine grace, begin to flow like silhouettes in front of the sun. And this aegis of divine grace unfolds like solar petals of light, like a perfect rose, beaming from and throughout Sirius, the great central sun. Take a moment, for the crown of silence has been placed on your head. The shawl of silence is draped upon your shoulders. The mantle of divine silence has been placed in your hands. Take a moment to embrace the infinite thoughts, the infinite words, the infinite actions, the series of deep breaths that you allow to dynamically flow through you. It is emanating a brilliant light, allowing silence to continue to be a unique part of your divine I am presence. Now you understand that external circumstances can never control you. You have self-control. And every thought, word, or action is now accepted, embraced, received by you because it's preceded by silence. And from the infinite depths of silence, you feel whole and complete. You feel well, you feel joyful, you feel at peace. Take your time and come back and find yourself seated before your fireplace. For every golden flame and every violet fleck of light that you feel and witness is a part of you. The spirit of divine grace is a part of you. And you feel fabulous. You feel relaxed. You feel stronger. Loving yourself, seeing the love in others that you see in yourself. See the love that you have, blessing the presence of others. And as you take this moment and dwell upon it in your own way, remember that the spirit of divine grace is the basis and the sturdy foundation of your unique silence. Thank you for participating in this creative pathwork meditation. I hope it helps you in some way and come back and replay it as many times as you want. Take good care of yourself. Love yourself. Love others unconditionally. Embrace your truth that's infinite. Embrace your brilliant intelligence. Embrace your infinite spirit. And remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. Thank you for watching Clear Blue Radiance podcast number 235. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels Bay. Look forward to see you all next time.